What if I tell you that the key to true freedom, freedom from suffering, distractions, and even the limitations of the mind, has been written down thousands of years ago? And that this knowledge, known as the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, is not just about bending your body into postures, but about understanding the very nature of your existence. Welcome back to our channel. Let's dive deep into the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. If you're new here, I highly recommend watching my introduction video on Patanjali first, where we explored who he was and why his work is so significant. Today, we begin our journey into the Yoga Sutras themselves, their structure, meaning, and why understanding Sanskrit can transform the way you perceive them. But before we begin, if you are excited about unraveling ancient wisdom for modern life, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next episode in these series. Let's start with a simple but powerful question. What exactly are the Yoga Sutras? The Yoga Sutras are a collection of 196 short aphorisms, concise, deep, and layered statements that serve as a guide to achieving enlightenment. They were compiled by the sage Patanjali, and they distill the very essence of yoga, not just as a physical practice, but as a science of the mind and spirit. These sutras are divided into 4 chapters, each one designed to take us deeper into this journey of inner liberation. Let's briefly look at each of them. First, Samadhi Pada, the path of contemplation and absorption. This first chapter lays the foundation. It answers the fundamental question, what is yoga? Here, Patanjali defines yoga as the cessation of mental fluctuations. In simpler terms, yoga is the stilling of the mind's endless chatter so that we can see reality as it is. The name of the first chapter signifies the goal. Through this, he sets a tone for all the other chapters, taking us closer to our goal. Another interesting aspect of this name is that by understanding the meaning of yoga, we can understand samadhi and vice versa. Second, Sadhana Pada, the path of practice. This chapter gets practical. Now that we know that the goal is samadhi, the next step involves the means of attaining that goal. Patanjali introduces 2 major paths of yoga. A. Kriya Yoga, the yoga of action. B. Ashtanga Yoga, the 8-fold path, which includes ethical disciplines like yamas, niyamas, physical postures like asanas, breath control like pranayam, and deep states of meditation. If you've ever heard of the 8 limbs of yoga, this is where they come from. Third, Vibhuti Pada, the path of powers or accomplishments. This is one of the most interesting chapters. Here Patanjali discusses the extraordinary abilities, sometimes called siddhis, that arise from deep meditative states. When we follow the paths mentioned in the 2nd chapter, we will get results in the form of certain powers. These powers tend to be hidden and locked in all beings, and through yoga we can unlock our hidden inner potentials. While fascinating, these powers can also be distractions on the path of true liberation. Fourth, Kaivalya Path, the path of absolute freedom. This final chapter is all about ultimate liberation, Kaivalya, which means complete spiritual independence. It describes how, when the mind is fully purified and no longer bound by illusions, the yogi attains absolute freedom. Each chapter builds on the last, taking us from understanding yoga to practicing it, witnessing its effects, and finally, transcending all limitations. Now, here's something I feel very passionate about. When we read the Yoga Sutras in English or any other language, we are reading someone else's interpretation, not the sutras itself. Take the famous first sutra, Ath Yoga Anushasanam. Some translations say, now the discipline of yoga begins. Others say, Thus begins the exposition of yoga. But in Sanskrit, Ath doesn't just mean now. It carries the weight of an auspicious beginning, a significant moment of readiness. Similarly, Anushasanam isn't just discipline, but an insightful, structured teaching. Every word in Sanskrit is deeply layered with meaning, and by learning even a little bit of Sanskrit, we unlock a truer, more profound understanding of these teachings. I'm not saying you need to become a Sanskrit scholar, but even learning basic Sanskrit terms can help you experience the sutras beyond the limitation of translation. Now, if you're wondering which translation of Yoga Sutras to read, here are some I highly recommend. 4 Chapters of Freedom by Swami Satyananda Saraswati. Swami Satchidanand's translation, a great balance between clarity and depth. B.K.S. Iyengar's Light on the Yoga Sutras brings a yogic practitioner's perspective. My advice? Don't rely on just one translation. Read multiple interpretations, compare them, and if possible, cross-check key Sanskrit words to grasp the deeper meaning. The Yoga Sutras of Patanjali are more than a book. They are a map to inner liberation. But like any map, their true value is in using them to navigate our own journey. In these series, we will go sutra by sutra, exploring their meanings, interpretations, and how we can apply them in modern life. But I urge you, don't just listen to my interpretation. Engage with the text, explore the Sanskrit, and most importantly, put these teachings into practice. What is one question you have about the sutras that you would like me to cover in these series? Let me know in the comments. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with anyone who's on the path of self-discovery. And I'll see you in the next episode, where we begin with the very first sutra, Ath Yoga Anushasanam. Until then, keep seeking, keep practicing, stay safe, stay sattvic.